Hey folks, it's Uncle Jay, and I want to expand on my initial thoughts about the terrorist attacks in Mumbai. It seems to me that the conventional wisdom among all the analysts that I've heard is that there must have been some sort of external agency, either Pakistani Intelligence or some foreign terrorist group involved in the planning, training, and execution for these attacks. That it couldn't have been the result of simply homegrown Indian Islamist extremists figuring out the lowest common denominator of terror and executing it. Now, you could say that a suicide bombing is the simplest thing in the world. I might go you one better and call an AK-47 and a crowded place the simplest and lowest common denominator of terror. Now, it's always been my greatest fear was that someone would open fire in a food court of a mall someplace in the middle of Middle America. That would be the most terrifying thing, I believe, for the American populace. So the idea that it took some sort of foreign mastermind or some external agency to sit down and say, wouldn't it blow people's minds if we had about a dozen guys with AKs and grenades and we just started shooting the place up? That's not very complicated to plan. The fact that they got rooms in these hotels beforehand to potentially stash stuff, once again, that's not rocket science. Hijacking a vessel on the open seas these days seems to be child's play. So once again, this was a well thought out plan. Whoever did it, they get an A. Unfortunately, it worked fantastically. They killed hundreds, they paralyzed the country, and they succeeded. They struck terror into the hearts of the Indian people. But I don't believe it takes anything more than a reasonably bright, look at India, they've got how many college educated people? Probably more than in America. You take a bright Indian Islamist and say, if I'm this guy, I want to create this much terror, I get a dozen other guys, I get AKs, I get grenades, we pick out targets, how hard is that? Now, the police station was probably their hardest target. The rest of these places were soft targets. Yes, they have security. Yes, there are reasons to believe that they're not going to be a cakewalk, but essentially these guys were not attacking fortified positions. They were shooting unarmed civilians in hotel lobbies. Once again, that's not complicated. Once you make the determination that you're going to commit a terrorist or criminal act, it's much easier to do than to obey the law or to act as a soldier in a military situation. Once you decide that none of the rules apply, then you have huge advantages over law enforcement and over the military. And that's one of the reasons you cannot secure a free country from people who are willing to die in the commissions of these acts. If they are willing to go that step, then they are going to succeed. What you need to do is catch them before they do it and find out who their friends are and kill all of them, because that's the only thing that works. So it's not criminal terrorist masterminds, it's disgusting, vile, low base, evil, extremist bastards who eschew all the rules of common decent society and purposely slaughter innocents. It's the decision to do that that changes everything. It doesn't make them smart, it doesn't make them anything other than evil, murderous bastards.